Hello and welcome to CIO News. I am Khushbu, Soni, your host for the broadcast and chief editor at CIO News. This is our exclusive fireside chat powered by Zoom on the topic of future of customer experience and collaboration. This is a recorded session and will be available on our website, that is cionews.co.in, and our CIO News LinkedIn handle. It is my pleasure to invite our guest for today. We have Mr. Vinod Kumar, KB, the Chief Information Officer of Fino Payments Bank. Mr. Vinod has been part of Fino Payments Bank since its inception in 2017. His expertise and guidance in deploying innovative IT solutions enabled Fino to maintain its leadership positions in the payments bank space. Vinod holds a bachelor's degree in engineering from Rajasthan University, Jaipur, and a master's of degree in business administration from Mano Bharati University. He's previously worked at various organizations such as Teletech Services India Limited, ICICI Bank, Reg Bank, and K Infosystems. So it is an absolute pleasure to have you, and thank you for being a part of this fireside chat. We're looking forward to get your insights.
Thank you for the introduction.
I'm also accompanied by Raje, the General Manager and Head for India and SAARC region from Zoom. Sami joined Zoom in April 2019 to start and grow its operations in the country. And Sami is responsible for leading strategic initiatives, operations, pre-sales, customer success, support, and general manager functions. He charted his journey of increasing West Corporation's market share across APAC countries, and Samir has previously worked with various MNCs and held senior leadership positions for companies like Cisco, IBM, Microsoft, and during his career where he built and led high-profile teams across pre-sales, sales, and support. Samir, an absolute pleasure to have you on the
Thank you, Khushbu. Thank you for having me here, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. So to begin with, I would like to put the first question to you, Mr. Vinod. You being a CIO for a bank, what does a typical day look like? If you can just begin the discussion with that.
So the mornings are always very, a special day every day. So yeah, so you don't know what is there ahead of the day. So maybe the IT, the way it is functioning, the entire organization is actually look at the CIO or the CTO for any bank, especially from a banking industry to run that day. It's every minute is actually, or for that matter, every second is very critical for the bank, because any moment across globe or across the customers are accessing your systems. They go to any shop or any transaction location with the confidence that my cards or my account, the transaction which I am intended to do will work. They may be buying material from the shops, maybe from a kirana shop, or maybe they want to send some money to their the close relatives or people or friends or anyone. So they expect that the bank will be up and running 24/7. The moment they want, they have a need to receive money or to send money, they are looking at the bank. So every minute, every second is an important second for any CIO, for any bank, especially in any bank, to ensure that their customers are serviced and they're happy, and they come back to us the next time as well. So it's very tough day for the CIO to see that the systems are up and running, the transactions are going, all the applications are working the way it is expected to. So that is what the day looking at. So it's not a day, but it's actually every second actually we live a day.
Right, absolutely. I think it's a very tough role, especially now. I think CIO plays a very vital role in the last couple of years since the acceleration of transformation.
Absolutely.
Great. My next question is, so hybrid workplace isn't a choice anymore for organizations, and especially the digital natives. What are your key challenges, adapting to this new business environment? How is it being with Fino Payments Bank, if you can help us get that as well.
So hybrid, you meant the people work from home and
yes.
So no, anyway, COVID taught us a lot. So I worked in the past in many international organizations. There, the work from home was a practice. So they used to practice, especially in US. I mean, Samir must be knowing it. So no, many of the people, it was a forced work from home once in a week. So the culture was there, and they practiced it very intensively, and it was very planned actions. But the COVID taught us in a different way to work, especially in a BFSI segment. We were undergoing a lot of regulatory controls that this system cannot go out of the organization. This needs to be working. Now the entire system, the people, process, everything needs to be within the four walls of the organization. So that was the concept, and the entire infrastructure and the process are made according to that to function. But the COVID-19 actually changed the views from a regulator perspective, from an industry perspective, that, okay, if there's a scenario, then you need to work from home, work from any other remote location, you need to work from a remote location. And I think the people adapted quickly, very quick. The maybe initial days of the COVID, the people didn't have any other choice than sit at home and work. So there was no other entertainment. The theaters were closed, the malls were closed, or maybe the relatives are not coming, friends not coming, or you can go. So at the end of the day, people were sitting and doing more work than what is expected, because they enjoyed the work to at least to kill the time. So, but practically that culture become very strong, that people understand how to work from home and what is expected and how to manage the time as well as the quality of the work. That actually came into the blood of the people, and this, the adoption become very faster. So same with the organization. Many of the organization, or I should say most of the organization, especially maybe some of the software companies, nobody believed in the work from home or remote working. They wanted to have all the people in front of their eyes while they are coming. And the team building used to happen only with the physical presence of the people. And they believed that the physical meeting is very important. The people used to come every quarterly meeting, monthly meeting, yearly meeting, and everything. But including the board meeting, no. So the scenario changed. Their board meeting used to happen physically. That became a virtual meeting. So that is the level of adaptation that is happening across industry. It is benefited a lot, but some of the areas, we find the problems also, because one, from a collaboration. Second, some of the new people who are actually coming into the system, getting them adapted to the environment. Because many of the things, while we are speaking, while we are giving any project, they know the people. There's a lot of people connect to us there. And the new people who joined remotely, they never came to office. So they don't know what is the culture of the office. They are actually mainly stick to the project which is given to them. So the connect of the people connect was missing there. But I think gradually with all the video systems and other things, especially as the Zoom and all other systems, actually put a lot of help in that to connect the people. The collaboration become more stronger and get into the mode of actually having this. We as a bank, Fino Payments Bank, we adapted the remote working very fast, and the entire there are so many functions today also continues to be remote working, and we are thinking when something which can be optimized further to have the hybrid model, and there's no impact on the operation, because the entire activities on the bank is more of SLA based. The triggers are there, the alerts are there. So something which is not functioning, and then immediately the alerts will be, then people get into that and ensure that all the expected outputs are there in place. I think adoption became very fast in India with almost all the organizations now.
Great insights. So from an employee engagement and experience perspective, employee engagement and experience is mostly dependent on the seamless performance of any collaboration platform, and that an organization is in. So which solutions and collaborations are you providing for your users, and how are you ensuring the adherence to HR and compliance guidelines, basically?
There are, it will be tough to tell this is a particular platform that we are using. So we tried multiple platforms, something which is very adaptable to us. HR is very uh, adaptable to the new environment, how they can manage. So I'll say more than a technology implementation. There are major human touch also gone from HR, even though they are sitting a remote place. The connect become very common factor for them. They call the people and they meet the people through multiple medias, including Zoom. So we also use Zoom as one of the media to get connect to the people. Not only connection an existing employee, but more of the remote recruitment. The interviews also actually happening through some of the tools like Zoom. They interview them, then the attitude of the people and aptitude also find out from that. The HR also evolved in that actually. Earlier it was like to finalize a person, they need to have a face-to-face meeting. From there, that is actually moved from that face-to-face to the remote phase. And the decisions are taken then and there, then offers are going. And those people are actually maybe joining, not coming to the office, but sitting at their home or wherever they are working from, wherever they join from there. And everything is actually a seamless remote engagement and remote onboarding actually happen to the people. So I think across the industry, everyone grown to that level. Not it's not just a Fino scenario, but Fino is actually one of the front runner in having digitalization across the bank from the beginning. We adapted all these environments very faster, and we are continuing to run with the same passion and the technology implementations there.
Sure. Awesome. Sameer, my next question is for you. How is Zoom shaping the future of work? So if you can, throw some light on that.
Well, sure. And I've been listening to Vinod very carefully, and it sounds like music to my ears, to be honest, because very critical aspects mentioned by him in terms of the uptimes, the service availability for the customers, employees working from home, and transition due to COVID, the enforcement of work from home. So, before even getting into how Zoom adopted or how, what Zoom is doing, the key question is, what is digital native? What is work from home? What is hybrid environment? That is the key question. And the answer to that is, let me ask a question to you. The first question is, if it's an organization which is born in, let's say, 1970s or 80s or during that time, is that not a digital native organization? What's a digital native organization? Well, it can very well be a digital native organization. However, the point is that due to COVID, today all the organizations need to ask a question to themselves that are they or do they want to be digital native? And what is that? Digital native organizations typically are organizations which have a product or a service or a unique value proposition for their customers. Point number one. Point number two, how they take it to their customers. E-commerce is just one aspect of it, right? Like Vinod mentioned, it could be somebody at a gas station looking for some financial solution, or somebody in a remote location looking for financial services, or something like that. It could be anything, right? How that gets delivered. E-commerce or buying online is just one way. So connecting it via technology and delivering that, and solving the customer issue. Finally, the whole puzzle to this jigsaw is the consumer himself, because the consumer has transformed so much in the last 1-2 years and suddenly become so tech savvy, I would say, that they don't want to use non-technology related stuff. For example, people choose to ask for support or request for support on social media rather than go to a support help desk and wait for 15-20 minutes of wait time on a toll-free or toll number. Right? That's what is happening. They tweet and they wait for a response to come in your way. That's a digital native customer. They are not going to wait for you. Right? So it is extremely important, even for an organization which was born probably in the 70s and 80s and 90s, to turn around and say that we need to be digital native now. We are serving a different kind of consumers. We are serving a different kind of a customer. So it's extremely important for us to be digital native, need to adopt technology. So that's the first aspect. So coming to the next point, what is Zoom doing? As rightly mentioned by Vinod, it is two ways of looking at it. First way of looking at it is video as a collaboration tool, video as a collaboration platform. Hey, and it is coming from a person uh, who sold the first audio conferencing solution in India way back in Stone Age, when probably in early 2000, when it was unheard of in India, right? And the costs were astronomical, as high as 15, 16 rupees a minute per participant, right? And per minute per participant, it was so high. People used to ask, why do I need an audio conference, right? And today, 3 people personally chat on a phone having audio conference. Similarly, suddenly, then came the data sharing part, the slide sharing part, then came the video, and suddenly the video is the new audio. People want to talk on video. How many of you we see now, even walking down the street, even a street vendor or a security guard of a building talking to his family back in a remote village over a video call. Video has suddenly become an audio. They want to have a look and feel. That happened. Now it is transforming even further, and that's where Zoom is playing. What we are doing is, what we are observing is the way the consumers are utilizing, the way our customers are utilizing has changed. There was a time when, like let's talk about the financial institution where security is paramount, where everything had to be in-house, as Vinod mentioned, right? There was a time around that. But slowly, steadily, due to COVID, when people started working from home, they ended up using tools of their choice. They started using devices of their choice because what was provided by IT was not working. Hence, it's become extremely important now, point number one, IT to be a business partner or an enabler for the business. That's point number one. Point number two, it's no longer restricted to video anymore. It's the workflow. For example, the person at the gas station who is there, is a phone call enough when he needs to reach out to somebody in a financial institution? Is just can he reach at a click of a button? Can he reach there? Is there a subject matter expert available? Can he sign documents online? Or maybe within the phone banking application itself, fire a video, complete a KYC and get that recorded and pull that in? Is that seamlessly possible within the same workflow? So today, it is all about integrations into workflows. And bringing in collaboration platforms into the workflow integration is what the transformation, what we are seeing. And that's what Zoom is evolving into. We started off as a video calling app sometime back. And today Zoom is a complete collaboration platform and integrates multiple workflows or permits you to integrate Zoom into your workflow, custom workflow, and hence deliver that customer happiness to your digital native customers, and hence enable you to be a digital native organization. That's what we are doing.
Great, wonderful insight. Thank you, Sameer. On that, while you mentioned that, customer experiences, customers changing, consumers are changing. So it is very important to, plan and work towards that. So my next question is, if you can also share some insights into how do you measure customer experience at your end, and if you can share some light on techniques of emerging customer experience strategies that can be used.
Yeah, thank you, Khushbu. So before actually I'm taking that point, again, let me add some of the points actually where Sameer mentioned. The rural India, what we say, more than 80-85% of the people who live in the rural area, their technology adoption or the way they are looking at the technology been totally changed. So maybe if you're some 3 to 4 years back, maybe we could say that they are not ready to use any mobile gadget or any other gadget for their day-to-day operation, especially from a banking, because they were not trusting any of the devices for do their banking, because they don't know who is using, how it is getting used, whether their money will go, or someone will siphon. No, there are so many questions or fears that were living, the people were living with in the rural area. But today that is changed. I think COVID given a lot of support into that, because a lot of support actually came from the government due to from the Prime Minister PM Yojana or so many other areas. The benefit should go to the right person, and it should be the most interior area of India also the money should get to the person. So those people who are there, they may not have their account opened, or they may not be having their phones, or no, the adaptation to the technology, or they might have seen the internet or internet banking. But at the end of the day, government also wanted the money to be going to the right people. So that pushed a lot of digitization or the trust on the digital devices into the rural area. They started using the mobile phones. They started using the Aadhaar enabled APS, the Aadhaar enabled payment system. They started using UPI. The kind of growth you can see on all these mediums are because of the kind of digitization actually gone into a system. So as a bank, and Fino's 80 to 85% of the operation is happening in the rural area. We know that how the people who are actually using the system, how keen they are to open the banking account, and how much effort they put to learn the banking application to do the transaction on a day-to-day basis. So the entire process actually taken a digital movement to the most interior areas of India. And today, when you're talking about the customer experience, as Samir also mentioned, the people moved from that normal go to the branch and getting an account opening. From there, they moved to the video KYC account opening. So those kind of experiences, because the customers know that, okay, I don't have to spend my time, or I don't have to spare my day to walk to a branch, or catch a bus or taxi or anything and go to a branch and get an account opening. Instead of that, if the nearest merchant, especially from Fino points of view, Fino is having 93% of districts we are covered in India today. If the merchant or any other customer service point is able to do a video KYC for opening an account, or a merchant in across India, they can get attached to bank as a merchant by taking his KYC through the video. The merchants are happy. They think that, okay, everything is actually done when I want, wherever I am, and that is what the customer experience they feel. The kind of technology what the various systems brought, especially Zoom, because the people actually adapted Zoom very easily, because the customer interface, the user interface, that is very easy for anyone to use and to understand the navigation. So it was not very confusing. That is very important for any application, actually, how the customers are actually adopting to the understanding that, and their ease of use. That become very simple, and people, the organization understand that, actually, rather than building a complex application, build a simple application which customer, the end user understand. So customer experience actually moved from where it was from a physical journey to a digital journey. They adapted. They are actually using the transactions, and the entire thing is actually visible, and the data says the growth of UPI, where the ministry publishes, and the use of APS. All those things actually important factors to understand how the entire digital system is getting used in India. The other part, actually, how we are doing this, all this interaction with the customers actually giving a lot of data. And today's well, all the across the enterprises, everybody is using data as the media to increase their business, increase their customer experiences. From their experience, we get to know actually where they are, how they are actually operating, what kind of transactions they are doing, what kind of transactions or functionalities that any customer requires from the bank, what they are looking for. Those kind of information actually we get from the customer navigation through the application, how they are reacting to each and every menu options, how much time they spend on each and every menu. So those kind of information is getting captured at the backend. We do a very deep analysis on the customer information, their transaction model, and accordingly the business plans are being dynamically changed. Maybe something which is today we say, okay, this particular function may not work. Maybe after 1 month or 2 months time, you get to know that, okay, no, this is what something customer requires. So the decision making become very easy, because the prediction and what is actually the real adoption in the market, we get to know the gap in that, take a decision, move on that. The dynamism change. And second thing, the digitization helped in all these things, because today we can actually push all these things through the digital medium, and the people are reading that, people taking the media, then enter like LinkedIn, or it could be Twitter, or it could be Facebook, or any other media, whichever is social media is available. People go to that, they listen, they understand, and they adopt all those facilities available, and they do the transaction whatever they want. So another thing is that I think Samir expressed that very thing, that the entire customer base, they are not looking at the help desk or the IT calls or any other website or anything to get information. They know that you go to social media, there's a forum, join the forum, put your concern or the bad words. If something is not actually going well also, they are very ruthless. They're right. They're right. One person right, and 100 other people actually right on that. Actually, yes, you said this, and I face all these things. So time change that you can sit and solve one by one customer complaints, or you can solve the customer complaint that is coming through your IVR or your email, and email something which is very, very private to you, because only you see the complaints, the audience doesn't. That scenario changed from there, and now the entire complaint, be it even one courier didn't receive in third day, they put there, it took more than 3 days, your SLA is 3 days. So that gone from a customer interaction media that the organization opened, but it is actually purely from a social media, digital media, where the organization is to be taken seriously, and everybody is actually taken that very seriously and responding to that. That improved a lot. Now you cannot hide anything. Earlier you can actually give anything. The customer is giving, okay, you don't know how many complaints I get in a bank in a day, but the social media says where you stand today, and the high competitive area, and everybody follows that, and everybody is actually ensuring that digitally all these things are getting closed. I think I should appreciate Samir raised that point, that it is not no more the internal IVR or email system that is actually defining your customer experience, but it is actually more of millions and billions of the people who watch your social media engagements that decides where you stand, and nothing that you can hide. It's all open. It's all open now.
Right, true, right, true. Awesome. On that, Sameer, if you can share us how digital transformation can help organizations serve customers better in the new normal.
Well, I think we all heard from right, the challenges, and they are out there in the open. And I would like to add to what mentioned is the social media sometimes can be really angry and nasty, and rightfully so, because some of the customers have suffered or not got the service for whatever reason. It could be a genuine reason or not, but it is how we respond to them, right? That is being digital native. Digital native is not, and I'll like to share a classic example over here. And this happened with me personally just last week or 2 weeks back. A new organization which is born probably 1 year back or something, Indian organization, product base. I placed an order on it. I'd heard about it. Said, let me try. Placed an order on it, and they said the delivery time after they will ship it after 15 days. I was like, 15 days just to ship it? Said, okay, I can live with it, no problem. 15 days go by, 16 days go by, 17 days go by, still no information about shipping, and I reach out to them. So I sent a message via chat, and I asked, okay, it has not yet been shipped. Oh, so your query is, and this is below my order, I got a button stating that if you have a query, please click here for support. I didn't have any other option, so I clicked on support, and they say, oh, you have a query about your order? Then we have other department for it. They will call you back. I said, hang on a minute, but I clicked and requested for support. So they said, no, we have a different division, and they will call you back. So after some time, I get a call back, and I said, look, nothing doing. It's okay. It doesn't matter. You can cancel it. Oh, sorry, sir. We have another division for that. For the cancellation, they will call you back. I said, nothing doing. I don't want any more calls. Please cancel my order. All right. Fine enough. I went online. I placed the cancellation, and you guess what? Guess what? 1 week later, I have the product delivered. The order is canceled. I got my full refund, and the product is also delivered too.
Oh,
now, you call this a digital native organization? No, absolutely not. This is not a digital native organization, and they are like everywhere on the social media, advertising, doing this, doing that. And it's a new age company, newly formed company, and it is all gung ho with advertisements and the stuff they do. And I was like so impressed with it. And this is what it is. I still have the product packed. I have not yet opened it, and It's been more than like now 1 week, and I'm waiting for them to either call me back or send me an email so I can ship it back to them, right? But they have not bothered to do that. They have refunded me in full.
Oh.
That's not digital native. That's not. So the point I'm trying to say is, digital native is no longer a choice. It's a mandate because our customers, our consumers have changed. And it's extremely important to maintain that experience out there. When there was a time when we used to get out of our houses and look for a cab. It doesn't work. Now we call a cab before even we get out of our houses. We are not going back to the olden days. Similarly, in the remote villages, remote towns, we are working with so many firms which are educating farmers on the quality of soil, right? And farmers are so great. They're using mobile devices to learn and get empowered with information. And these companies, 2 or 3 of them, in fact, are doing a lot of these webinars and education programs and one-on-one sessions. It is so fantastic to understand that our farmers in those remote villages are doing this. We are doing some telehealth consulting with even remote Anganwadis and so on and so forth, providing doctors and Anganwadi workers with some of the tools. Similarly, we are working with education institutes like Teach for India for rural education. It's so amazing, people we feel that people in rural villages will not use, but on the contrary, it's very different. And rightfully pointed out by Mr. Vinod is the fact that our government is driving a lot of initiatives in that, and that we should appreciate. Now, for example, the next journey is about developing 100 cities for knowledge workers for BPOs, and that is going to be another great thing, right? So I think customer experience is very important, and being digital native is no longer a matter of choice, but it is a required thing because the consumers have evolved, they're transformed, they're way ahead than us. We have a generation of kids who have not gone to school, who have not written in their notebooks, but have used only digital devices to write on. When they hit the space, you can just imagine what's going to happen, right? So that's what we are dealing with.
Fantastic. Great. My next question is, Vinod, what opportunities digital collaboration can provide businesses? Which processes can be improved through digital collaboration? Your thoughts on that?
So I don't think I have to explain that. Actually, we are sitting, we 3 are here just because of that. The collaboration is very important. That's the way that the entire thing is actually moving. From a banking perspective, while we are looking at be it our operational aspect, be it our development aspect from a back end, the entire thing is actually working on a very collaborative mode because the hybrid model is still existing. That some people work from home, some people from the office, and some of them actually the partners they are also having the resources spread across, and now we don't know who sits where. But end of the day, the system needs to be working. The function needs to be happening. The workflow engine should work the way that is expected. So the collaboration tools are here, and the expectation from collaboration tools are increasingly in demand. The people are looking for different solutions, like what Mr. Samir also mentioned. Zoom is where the people started that as a video conferencing system and system, or maybe for audio purpose they use. But today that is actually moved from there to they're looking at the solution as a complete collaboration package. So the expectation is changed. If somebody is actually giving only video calling system, nobody is going to use it because they don't want it. They want to do during the video call or the solution that is provided multiple things, and all of them needs to be there in one click. Nobody is ready to do multiple click also. It has to one click. Even people don't want to do clicking. So I have one of the scenario came in my organization that they're saying when I'm coming and my laptop is opening, I don't want to click and get this MIS. The moment I am coming and switching on my laptop, these are the 10 MIS and these are 10 predictions. So these are the 10 actions that I need to do that should be visible automatically to my laptop. That is the way it is moved. They don't want to click. So people are actually moving from that, even they don't want to do a multiple click. They are maybe today they are standing at a single click. a time going to come that nobody even want to have a click because they are traveling, they are driving, they don't want to do anything. Okay, mobile looking at that, the thing should go. The voice recognition improved, the face recognition, and everything you look at the technology, everything improved because of this. Or the people demand increase because of this. They want everything to be there the way they want to do, that they want to look at things, and it should be. It's not a demand now; it's a necessity now. You have to have that in place. So that's the way it is moved. So the collaboration tools are here to grow. Today we see this is the way it should be. Maybe as Samir said, tomorrow when the kids actually who use their laptops and the mobiles and maybe the tabs to do their schooling, when they're coming up, what kind of expectation they are going to come up with, I don't think I can predict or even Samir can predict today, because their expectation level is totally maybe exponential level than what the age we live today. So I think it's going to stay here. And continuous improvement is essential. Otherwise, nobody can stay there, because if you have the one solution and stick there, this will be good enough for anything. It's not going to happen. Every day, we need to improve from our customer perspective, giving customer experience to them, and the platforms who are supporting us, they need to improve to support our expectation and how we want to serve our customers. So going to be a hand in hand as a solution.
Great. Fantastic. I think it's been a great discussion. I have one last question before we end today's session. Samir, that's for you. Hybrid workplace isn't a choice anymore for organizations, especially in the digital natives. That's the conversation that we've been having all this while. How has Zoom adapted to this business environment?
Well, for us, it was, I'll respond to that into two components or two parts. The first is, I think, where we started off. The first idea of Zoom came into picture is when our founder decided that, we wanted to have a friction-free video-first communication. Now, that's quite a jargon. But if you look at all the collaboration tools, and including the ones which I have been associated with in the past, all these tools and platforms were built with data first or other applications first, whereas Zoom is built with video first in the collaboration. As a result of which, it's simple. You can have 50,000 participants in one meeting, and you can still video holds. Now we are enhancing that up to 100,000 in one single meeting, right? Now I'm not even talking about joining multiple meetings. We've created our users have created some world records using this, but that is the technology. And hence, when the video is first, what happens is you get a frictionless, immersive video as first. That's the first concept what we had. So everything that we do revolves around video, not the other way around in what you see in the other platforms, which is data comes first, applications come first, and video comes first. For us, video is first. That's the first thing. The second aspect what we have is the culture at Zoom. When Zoom was born, from day one, our culture has been only one, and that is delivering happiness. Delivering happiness to our employees and to our customers and partners. As a result of which, each and every employee which comes in or every customer that comes in, we ensure that they are happy. We go to any length to keep them happy as much as possible. Well, we serve more than 120,000 schools across the globe at no cost. Close to about 5,000 of them were in India during the entire COVID time. Why? Because we want to help education sector. Why not? Let's do that. Right? So that's the concept we have of delivering happiness. So when these two concepts were of video first, that is a very unique value proposition for the customers. And on top of it, delivering happiness, when these two were bundled, I think we were born basically natives. So we didn't have to adapt to this changing environment. So that's point number one. The answer or the second component of this answer is the fact of what we are doing for our customers to help them. We've seen a lot of changes and the organizations evolve over a period of time in the last 10 years that we have been existing, and more so in the last 2 years of COVID. What are we doing? As I said, Zoom no longer is a video calling application. It's a complete collaboration platform. And when people are getting back to offices, we are bringing in more and more functionalities for hybrid environments, such as kiosk, right? Let's imagine while Fino Banks has merchants in remote locations. Why can't we put up kiosks over there? Well, Zoom supports that. You can have a remote kiosk over there. Users walking in, touch of a button, get connected to any branch or any headquarters you want to. Digital signage is in the same locations. Relay messages that you are controlling from HQ to the remote village. Why not? We can do that. Right. Similarly, we are bringing in components of AI, VR, IoT. You can control your air conditioners or even your blinds and so on and so forth using the same application. Why am I saying this? Well, similarly, we have a virtual receptionist. Somebody walks into your branch, you don't need to have a receptionist. You can have a virtual receptionist managing everything, remote opening of the doors and so on and so forth. The security, physical security takes care of it. Similarly, whiteboarding. And there are so many things which we've introduced in the last 6-8 months alone to help customer transition from work from home to hybrid and maybe completely office. I lose account of those features and functionalities myself. So that huge is the list. And that's how we have been adopting. We're born digital. We understand our customer pains and we are adopting and giving them more. We are empowering them more. That's what we are.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you so much. I think this has been a very insightful discussion with you both. And thank you for sharing all your perspectives and your experience with us on this platform. It was a pleasure to host you both. I look forward to having many more interactions in the future. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Khushbu and Samir.
Thank you, Khushbu, and Mr. Vinod, thank you for being here. It was really a pleasure speaking with you.